MRA-4 program in 2010. Britain initially didn't have a maritime patrol capability for some while, but that all changed in 2015 with the procurement of this, running in from the right, the Boeing Poseidon MRA-1 from number 120 Squadron at RAF Wedgetail. And we see it with the weapons bay open, which isn't a configuration I've seen during a Poseidon flypast before.
No, as a true multi-role maritime patrol aircraft, it is equipped with sensors and weapon systems for anti-submarine warfare, as well as surveillance, search and rescue capabilities as well. But being truly interoperable, it works with the Royal Navy to identify and track foreign naval assets around the UK coast and across the globe. The RAF Poseidon fleet achieved initial operational capability in April 2020, and the fleet was completed when the 9th aircraft arrived at Lossy in January 2022. A typical crew for one of these aircraft has 2 on the flight deck, then there are 2 weapon systems officers acting as the tactical coordinator and the co-tactical coordinator. Then there are 4 weapon systems operators as the acoustic operators, the radar operator, and an electronic support measures operator. And on especially busy sorties, the aircraft can take a 9th crew member as well. For example, if there was a need to load sonobuoys, of which the RAF Poseidons can take 129. And interestingly, the sonobuoys are now, I gather, dropped typically from higher altitudes than they used to be, thanks to them being GPS guided. And the Poseidon Force, although still in its infancy, has been incredibly busy with numerous operations and exercises across the last 12 months. Operating in the Rim of the Pacific, Dynamic Manta, which was a P8 to Sigonella in Italy, Operation High Mast, which was support to the Strike Carrier Group and their transit to Indo-Pacific, Cable Car,
the MRA-2 at the time, into our international colleagues, particularly in Australia and the US. As far as armament for the RAF Poseidons is concerned, we use the American-manufactured Mark 54 torpedo, and the British-made Stingray torpedo is undergoing integration. And it's quite interesting, I think, to note that before all of the activities that Mark was just talking about, the debut operational mission of an RAF Poseidon was in August 2020, and it involved shadowing a Russian Navy warship in the North Sea, something of a portent of things to come, because RAF Poseidons have worked alongside the Royal Navy and other NATO partners to track Russian vessels operating close to British waters ever since, if necessary, maintaining a 24-hour on-station presence. And another important role, as I said, is search and rescue support. Nimrods were famed for performing that. And the Poseidon, which we saw the weapons bay open on earlier, can drop search and rescue kit from that weapons bay, which activates on hitting the water. In for its second pass now. That rescue kit involves the deployment of an inflatable life raft and survival equipment. One Poseidon can drop up to 5 of those systems, which would be enough to sustain as many as 10 survivors on the water for 3 days. And that was the second and final pass from the Poseidon MRA-1 from number 120 Squadron attack airborne and maritime targets simultaneously. In from the right then, the new Wedgetail AEW1. The aircraft currently operated by number 56 Squadron. 56 Squadron with a long and famous history, forming in World War I. One of the initial fighter squadrons for the Royal Air Force, operating numerous types, and in the Cold War era, operating the Lightning, the Phantom, and then latterly the Tornado F3 as the Tornado
F3 operational conversion unit. Since then, well, what a splendid sight. Boeing test pilot Glenn Wilcox and RAF number 56 Squadron test pilot, Squadron leader Angus Lilly, giving us the first public demonstration of the RAF's Wedgetail AEW1. Next up, we're going to be getting the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight's Avro Lancaster into the air to meet up with its two accompanying fighters.